Right, we are back with some hiker shenanigans, hopefully. I am super not prepared today, so hopefully we can get going in a while. I'm thinking we just do, like, for simplicity, we do the good old seed that I don't even know where it is currently. The one what has all the blueprints and stuff. The bean seed. Where we did, like, I don't know, 300 hand size. I don't think I can do that this time because we have other things we need to consider also. And I'm thinking black deck. Yeah, about the subscribers, like it's nice to hear that people think it's an underrated channel. I clearly have no idea what it takes to grow a channel. It's slow. But I'm thinking let's just roll in. It's like we can talk while we're playing. So let's just start this on black deck. I'm thinking more Joker slots is more good. We should have, since we're going for 1,000,000 retrigger Jokers anyway, we should be able to either just print a stupid amount of planets and live on that alone, or we can have a Baron or whatever with 400 blueprints. It should be nice and doable. Then of course I don't remember. The idol is... I don't remember if this is the seed where we can easily get a negative idol, but it's definitely a good option. This is where, if I remembered anything, I would know that we can get a full house here somehow. I don't remember which card though. Yeah, so the bean is going to be harder, that's correct. That's the Shiko seed, right? So I'm thinking, because I was doing like tech support for my grandma until literally 5 minutes before the stream started, so I'm a bit behind. We don't have a straight, we have nothing here, right? We are one off a flush, we are one off a straight. What do we have left? Do we need to really look at probabilities already? Right, but with people actually in chat knowing what we have, we can simply cheat. Still worth skipping, I think, for the cash. So clubs on the... Is this the one without the jack? Or do we literally only keep... Or is it from jack and down? I mean, I've fried my brain hard enough earlier in life that... Yeah, one off here also. So we could... If we get a 7, we still have... We don't need the 6 or the king. I mean, it could be the idol run this time, because... Since what we really need is just all the retriggers, right? So that's perfect for the idol. I don't know if it will carry all the way, because I don't know how many retriggers we will get or how it works with the... whatever else we're doing. Hopefully I will get back in the game soon. So what did we do? We went black deck. I have not looked where I have a hiker. I have not done anything. I don't have the notes on the seed. Where am I? Live on the internet, apparently. So I mean, I always have notes on these things, but I update them so often that I then don't find the notes again when I need them. Hiker. Bam. Okay. Yeah, negative bean is good, right? It's by far the best use you big brains in chat has ever invented for that negative tag. So that's a very good thing to do. That's not a jack, that's a queen. Normally I have an hour or something in between. I can take it easy before the stream starts. Now it's just straight in and I know nothing. But this is at least close to a straight, right? That should be... Because this is what people said about the straight run also, that straights are easy. And yes, they are good for score and stuff, but drawing a straight is not easy, right? It's just blind luck when you have 52 cards. It's also nowhere near enough. Should we just play flushes early on? We have a 2 pair. Do we have... We have lots of everything left. Deep in 15. I remember that we have... Because compared to the earlier runs, flushes are most consistent in the start, yeah. So do we just throw for a flush? And we don't get it, but we have another straight magical. Yeah, we need to go for... We have to go for the straight flush also, right? Because we need... We have the Seance shenanigans. Now we have the very special boy. I'm more of a I play whatever I find kind of guy. So this, we need to do the re-rolls here also. So we can blow all the cash we have here, that's fine. I should have bought the planet for score though. Yeah, but I skipped one of them already. How about we just roll back, do it properly. Just gamble on the double bots. So we buy this. Could have cloned that also, but it's definitely better to just clone this guy for the big cash that we need. And then we have some kind of score. And because we can use these, we need to use them to be able to dig anyway, right? The battle cats, is that the eugenics or whatever it's called? Don't go for faces. Well, I know we have whatever it's called, the plant later, but here's the thing though, I don't trust that we can run a hack all the way. So in that case we need a Baron, and in that case we need Kings. The alternative is, what do we need Perkio for? We will print some ectoplasms, but we could literally just print planets, and we could live on that, and then we can have a hack or whatever, it doesn't matter. Now we only need to play 2 pairs, because we invested in the bot planet, the best of the planets. Yeah, Observatory is the... So then we can play a hack or literally any whatever card. That should be fairly big brain, right? So it's nice that I have one big brain thing also for when it's usually just all in chat. Like these are all... I need to find the new notes on the seed. So that I know. Yeah, we don't need a big amount of ectos. The observatory is always useful. It's a big brain way to run things. We also need this guy. The most special dude. We could buy a... Should we buy a dude for score? Like, am I capable of handling this on only planets? Could literally just have 100 ships and be fine. Or the bull. This I'm probably never going to use, because I'm just slamming in the discards to find the stuff I need. We could also just use one more. We need to buy this if we're going observatory also. We could use one more just to dig for, because we need DNA and Seance. We don't need DNA, but it's still nice to have early on. We can make... Because we have a red seal card soon. We have a queen. Did we have a 4 also? Because the only thing I see is a queen. And if so, that's gonna have to be the 1. Oh yeah. But it costs $9. I want to do a few more rerolls so we don't waste more cash next time. Where are we? We are looking at the square man. So we need a shad also when we... I need to also look at where I can find a hiker. Realistically, it's going to be after Ante 8 anyway, because we won't have room if we're doing the madness setup. But we actually want a shad for this, because it's going to be shading up blueprinting up a shad. It's gonna be more replays than the other whatever stuff I was thinking about that I already don't remember. We played the 2 pairs that I have not leveled up more. But we don't have anything, we don't need to sit around for anything here, we can just do this and get the cash maybe. Well, we need to make cash some way, right? And I'm thinking that's going to require having cards. But it would be nice to have a manageable deck size. We don't have to do... Could have this guy. And this, and this. All the things. We don't really have a card we want to copy though, so do we care about DNA now? There is a hanged man here also. We could just get a hangman and start cloning him. We need strength also, which there is a strength and a hangman here. Not that far off, but it's gonna cost cash. Could buy another planet also, hopefully. Showman doing showman things. Well, the easiest hands to play. When we could play pairs, but this is just all... Showman is saying this is a straight flush seed. So which was the last run we did on this seed? It was not the... That was the Chico seed with the discards. Was it Constellation? No, there was also a different seed. Has it been that long? Like Stencil is the last one we did on this seed. I mean, I would like to have a Disco Rock as the one cool card. And I think we can get... So it's the big brain play here that we do this. We get this guy. And we need cash, true. But if we can also purge the deck hard, we can play more straight flushes, we can get the cards we need. Yeah, that's the Chico seed, because we had to do that with Chico. There is also a strength card. Where's the next strength card? I have a vague memory of that being hard to get to. This also we need. And then we need to use one more for whatever the income thing is called. So do we want to use... We could level up 2 pairs some more. Almost clicking play. Because that's at least a big cool score, but that now means that we can't use this guy. And should we just print more or start burning now? Because we need to play... It's a straight flush. Yes, so we... Which suit is better to keep? Is this the one where we have... We can get a bloodstone for free. Did we have a straight flush at the start of this round? Yeah, we've thrown away only, right, I see. Perfect. Well, this is just business as usual. Buy this guy. Buy this. Yeah. And we print one of these so we can also... don't remember if we need the 5 in the flush, I don't remember. No, we need the 7, right. Or is it the lower one? I don't know if it's well, I mean it has to be with these 4 in a row, right? It has to be, can't do the 5. Look at all those debuffed cards. But now on the plus side, we can just re-trigger Seance because we have room. 5 useless cards. Seance doesn't care, we just... And also instant ectoplasm, like it's insane in this seed how good Seance is. Okay. We made it through Ante 2, very cool. So next we have... Like we have... Do we need to care about score, or can we just live on like planets alone? With our level 3 2-pair, wow. Because we're not digging for anything in Ante 3. Next, Ante 4 is the card we need. Strength I've forgotten where we have. Is it though? Do we not want... Did we want to make a disco card also? Or do we just gamble on getting that through spectral packs? We could also make... Because I'm thinking we might as well keep Seance while we have it, and if we print an aura, fine. So I already missed the strength. Do we just fix that also? Yeah, because it will help with the... Again, since we're going for so many retriggers, it's not bad, right? And it's also nice, if we're going to stack cards, not cards, ships on a card, it should just be a disco rock, clearly. Like, nothing else is anywhere near as cool. There we have it. So now we have a problem that we will definitely print the wrong cards. So we will make less cash. But we can sell this guy instantly because we only need 1 for the queen. And we can burn some of these. Oh, I keep forgetting we have the burnt boy. We already have it actually. But the bloodstone, we can get the bloodstone with a negative tag in Ante 16, but that's far enough away. But we could go for hearts. That makes sense. And it's always better to like know that ahead of time what we're going for. Because else I'm just gonna delete random cards and it's gonna be a problem. But what I remember is that, because we can't block with the showman anyway, is that managing the deck hard early on is gonna be important. Well, the king is because I don't know if the retrigger build will carry all the way, but if we do observatory, then we don't need kings. I was thinking kings as a backup, so we can always slam our face into a baron if we need one. But if we are so certain that we won't need one, we can just use the blueprints for observatory, then we don't care, and then we don't need strength. We can keep the queens, and we can just burn this and go harder on hangman. I think it is a queen of hearts anyway, right? No, spades. Never mind. Also definitely need to do this. Let's just keep a strength. We might as well make it a king. Because a queen is going to be deleted by the plant anyway. Sprinting only, of course. That's a pretty big idol. That's promising. Or are we looking for the straight flush again here? So we could just level up a pair. Because now we already have the problem where Perkio will print nothing but ectoplasms because that's what we have the most of. So a 9 or an ace. We can get another draw out of Seance. It's unfortunate. That's a pair, because we need the ace. Do we want to play more hand? Like, what could we still get a straight flush? We have loads of hearts, so there's always the case for the hearts still. But we don't have all the cards in hearts anyway. So we can't really find one here. It's also a terrible score. Well, we have a flush. What did we put the hand levels into? Is 2 pair. 2 pair or pair. Yeah, but we need more straight flushes to get the shiny card. Which is why we need more hangmans. Or for clubs. No, the other one, the diamonds is what I'm thinking of. But which suit? Diamonds. Or hearts, because the only ace I remember was a spade. But I could have thrown one without thinking, as is tradition. Like, my brain needs an hour of this before I'm actually awake. It's the downside of doing things as the last thing you do in a day, but so we just play a random hand. Nice. Very big brain move. And unfortunately we can't block, so we could get an ectoplasm again, but it's at least a good enough hand for some score. So there's no point keeping these with the showman. And we can't burn the showman because he has a job in Ante 6. I'm thinking we actually because what I want is these two. I really don't want to just have a million ectoplasms instantly. And colas, I think we don't care for now. After Ante 8 we start to care. Welcome. Oh yeah, we just do showman only. But that's just a funnier way to do, like Jokerless, just have 5 showmen. Should I just save the cash? Because we aren't as rich now when we're printing other cards. I don't know if I want to sell one more ectoplasm also. Probably should have. So, can we get more straight flushes? What's more likely? Nothing really. Because we haven't done much to the deck. We have deleted 2 cards exactly. We haven't found more hangmans because we're printing something else. Let's just the rare, the sheet royal flush build where we have to just roll back in time to find it every round. Could we get the 8 to jack? We could get the diamonds again. Don't know how likely it is. So let's just play... get some score. So that we can probably beat it later. So now do I just play a straight and then I waste the opportunity to get the straight flush? But we need the 9. And then we need a queen or the 7 also. It's not very likely. Do we just, again, play a pair instead of throw away a hand? Because pair is the best hand we have. That's too much. Perfect. I don't think we need to just fish for stuff this hard, but I figured why not try it at least. Okay, so it's still queen or the 7. We have the queen. Nice. So fishing actually paying off. For once. We have an aura, perfect. We don't really need a cryptid, right? We can just... I mean, it's faster to make a big deck with the cryptid, but we can get DNA later. So we don't care. And also having too many things to print is always bad. Could also literally just use the incantation for more cards. And use death cards on them, but I don't think we should. Because less cards is more important now. I mean, if pair is already so far ahead, why go for the bot planet? We can get both. Right. So it's already a lottery because Perkio now going to be a big problem. Thinking again, we just do... Because we need ectoplasms, true, but we need cash and stuff more. We need cash and deck management way more. And we're not getting it. So the full deck now is... We've only deleted spades. So it's still like... Well, we have 9-10 jack here, so let's fish for that. Level up the high card, because why not? The coolest hand of them all. I mean, a level 9 pair. But we got like 2k out of it last time. Okay, this is going better than expected. Problem now is that we're blocking 1. Can't print 2 cards, so we don't need to re-trigger Seance. Which is a shame, because I don't want to use the aura. We need more of them to make it work. That's not bad. Mid-run. It's a slow run. It's literally just started run also. So now we're not getting any more straight flushes here, right? That's not gonna happen. The spades where I have deleted everything. Do actually have a jack and a 10. So it's possible. But unlikely. And we will score too high, right? So the perfect score. I mean, this is just a mix of things. It's not a straight at all because we don't have the 10. But let's just slam in the pair. It's gonna be fine. We might as well see what we get with this guy, but get a big $3. Yeah, that's the important part. The problem now is printing the correct cards. So this is where we have the one cool queen. Could use a sun card also, preferably before we start cloning her. I don't know where we can find one. I think that was not that hard to find last time, but of course I don't remember at all. I mean, I need to throw because the seed is so powerful. So it's like we're balancing it out with me just misplaying everything. So here is just more deleting cards is more good. We could. Do we want to make another? No, not really. But it's just now getting perkier to behave. Like print me cash and hangmans, nothing else, preferably. Do we buy this voucher also? Because this is a problem where we need to do a voucher tag setup later to get the things we need. But if I don't buy that card, or that voucher rather, that might be one of the vouchers we print and we don't get retcon. Or will we just have enough colas that it doesn't matter? So straight flush hearts is gonna be by far the easiest. Clubs also possible, but we're sitting on the spades. I don't have a jack or a 10. I have a 10 in hand, but not a jack at all. So that's already off. Just throw away a pair for score again. We should use the aura on something also, but not this card before we clone it. We had a whatever it's called to make them a wild card. We just use this for space reasons. We can play away some hands. Okay, so here's the start. Do we have a 10? We should have a 10. We do. Only one. How do you do it with familiar specifically? Is it just to print more kings? Yeah, so it's better to not get that card because then we're not going to block. Because that's my concern, that we just literally block the entire shop with cards that cannot be negative. We did print like, what did we have? 1100 jacks, the last big Balatro thing. So we need the 9 and the 10 anyway for this to work. We don't need the 8. I guess we play a pair for some score. Or is it going to be too much score again? Oh, perfect. So we need a 9 and a 10. Hearts. We have 18 cards left. I'm gonna say that's unlikely. We can play a straight in a way that we can get this guy involved. And we have the score, so it's fine. Also need to sell this now. But score is not good. We can play more cool early pairs, I suppose. I mean, I'm thinking about those two, yes. I don't think we need them because we can hangman instead. We just need to make sure we print hangmans, which we can do by using some of these and stacking him up. But I'm wondering if just... like if Cryptid would help get the stuff we need faster. We also actually have a Joker slot free. But I don't know anything super cool that we could get until Ante 6. So Dusk is not bad. Oh yeah, we're getting golden ticket next Ante, right? Maybe. could ruin everything with wheels. It's gonna go on this guy 100%. Let's get some hand levels. Perky only wants ectoplasms. Everything else is banned. Bad print. So clubs is also the possible one. Or gambling on planets, gambling on Emperor. Same thing. We could have gotten a death card maybe, so I guess Emperor made more sense. 8 and 10, which we can get. This just... Then we don't need this. Just the one missing card. Yeah. I mean, it's been over a year now. I think I did... Balatro is like... I think I have almost 40 videos on Balatro now, so that's a long enough time. I don't remember when I started. It's been fun, it's been slow at the same time. We could get the 10. It's 1 in 18 cards in there, so unlikely. But we should have enough score anyway. We don't need the ace. We could also go back for DNA, because now we know what we're doing with this stuff. Cool, it's nice to see people stick around also. But not even looking and playing the wrong stuff, perfect. But we can go back for DNA because we're not that far in. And it's a very easy pickup. So we should be able to speed through that. Like here. We need to use some more of these. By you. We also need the hangman. And we could get the sun also, but I think it's dumb to carry a sun now. Because it's again going to just mix up with all the cards. It's like a year and a half I've been on YouTube actually. It's just, first you need to make a lot of garbage to learn how to make things that's slightly better than garbage. Now it's getting decent. But now it's just hard to figure out how do I make stuff that more people actually want to watch. Because if I'm gonna plow in loads of time, it needs to be better. I have you can do this with mods, or I have a third-party program just called Balatro Save and Load, so I have like save states, which for these experiments is fantastic. Since, let's say we're in Ante 32 and I just mess something up. Playing that from the start is going to be horrible. It's like a fail-safe to make this more playable. Is this what we have? The straight flush, right? So we need the jack, we need the eights. So I'm not gonna throw away anything other than high card anyway. Else I like playing as few mods as possible. I really only have... We have Saturn, which can stack these cards, so when we have 800 cards later, that's pretty nice. And Handy, which lets me select cards quickly. That's basically it. And we can't keep... Well, we can keep the Hangman, but we want to make room for 2 spectral cards. Yeah, there used to be a problem with Saturn where... Like, I don't know if I just didn't realize, but when I had Steam modded as well, we get to Ante 8 and you can't actually do the bean magic with mods. Mods break the bug. or mods fix the bug, whichever way you want to look at it. I mean, that's kind of my signature move now, is a big beans misplay. Luckily, I don't care. It's just gonna happen. Like, whatever. You can outsmart yourself by just ahead of time assuming that you're going to misplay. And then it's not such a big deal. So I have a vague memory of this actually being relevant for a straight flush. Just need to open the door. It's actually warm here, which is blasphemy. This is supposed to be a cold place. Definitely always on purpose. Did I forget which voucher did I... Is it the... It's the important one, right? The important one is like... Everything is not important, but... The one for observatory. This is too late. But this is like... It's always like this. The first run, or the first stream rather... I have literally no idea what I'm doing and I'm asleep, so it's always very slow. And then in between this and the next stream, I figure out what to do. I think we keep that so we have a higher chance of printing a temperance. Do I care about planets? No, whatever. Did not print a temperance. One, right. Get rid of that. And we again want to just... throw away whatever. So you can auto save with this thing as well. It's gonna be a billion saves. You just let it run forever. But the seance in this seed is just on crack. It's incredible. Watch me just play a high card instead also. I think we should, if we manage the deck hard enough, because we are on black deck now, right? So we have room for more jokers. So we want to do the negative bean, which is like, that's one of the biggest brain moves I've heard for this seed. And more brainstorms, because we will have room, or we should have room. I forgot to use the temperance for more, whatever it's called, interest. I think we still care about these. Because we get a hangman in the other one. But we just need to make enough cash. So we need the deck management to be on point, and we need to print hangman and temperance only. And this is also easier straight flushes maybe. Yeah, or before the packs, right, yeah, that would have been bigger brain. I'm gonna do that and see if that helps with the printing of things. Unlikely. So we could just throw away a pair, or we could just get some hand levels in. We only have this guy for score. Okay, so a 9 is enough, if we can find it. Or an ace, which we have. So, just waste a card, right? Or a hand, rather, so we have discards left. And we have room for 2. Nice. I did go... It's one of my first videos was high card level 4000. I think we can definitely do more now. It's like all the old videos, which I'm assuming most people haven't even seen, but there's a playlist with like 40 of these or 39, whatever, Balatro now. So any of the old ones, which is before I knew about the bean magic and all the shenanigans, we can definitely do a lot better. Yeah, when we have the gold cards, right? But then we need to manage the deck hard. Maybe I just need to spam all my old content all over the internet. Yeah, because we could do... Like, I did that without any animation skip as well, so it's just like 3 million years of super slow plays. Yeah, I didn't know the seed existed at that point. That was probably the double lucky dice seed, which is like the first one I found on Reddit. So what are we don't need anything here, right? It's just if I care about planets, which I don't know if I do. We have the burnt boy for that. Yeah, so the old ones that are like good ideas could definitely be better. The only one I have redone is the lucky cat, where the old one was like 1600 multiplier and the new one is 50,000, so there's some room for improvement. But that was one of the more insane runs. Do we, again, like I want to level up a pair, but I also want to land the straight flush. Let's just stick to the 9. In case we get the lower one rather than the one with the ace. 7, 8, 9, 10, jack. But now we have 2 heart cards or 2. No, we have 3 heart cards. And then we can just play the pair for some score. So that we can also live, maybe. I mean, the only thing I've heard you say about the abstract run is that it's going to take 7 million years. So I think I'm gonna pass on that one, if that's the plan. I don't remember why it was gonna be so slow, but... So we need a king, or... because we have the cool queen. Or an 8. Which we still haven't seen, right. We can play one more pair. Or we just throw away. How do we get the cards we need, though? Magic. Okay, some luck at least. Now, spare trousers is a good one also. Like, that would be a funny one. Hopefully. We have the aura also, nice. So now we don't need to play round seance anymore now, but we might as well until we replace it with something better. We could grab like a photograph or whatever if we care about score and burn seance already. We can also keep fishing for hangmans. They are amazing. Or we could run double showman, because why not? Burn it already. That's DNA. That's seance. I mean, it's now my MVP Joker in 2 games. Because it was critical to play the Spire also. Okay, now we have a mix. So we want to kind of sit on these so that Perkio prints more of those and nothing else. Preferably. Surely it's better to level up pair. than 2 pair. It's gonna be infinitely easier to play. Oh, the photograph. Totally doing so much there, but with the hand levels we actually have a decent base multiplier. Yeah, but we need... It's not that deep in the ticket, right? We need enough cash to be able to afford the ticket, and we need also to have made more. Thank you. I'm gonna need all the luck I can get. Especially always on the first stream on a new idea. We just don't know anything that's going on. A death card would be cool also. I don't know if we have... Because the way I remember this is that we used a death card in a pack and then we found a fool in the shop and that way we had a death card. But of course I don't remember where that fool was or where we got the death card from. In a pack, right, so it's for free. We can keep deleting dudes and then cash is just better, right? But now we can already start printing. And if they happen to be different suits like that's whatever, we can fix that later. Better to just have a few of these guys. Can make some cash. Yeah, we should. Stick it on the glass 10. Which we can also just try to explode. No. Glass cards also just have a way to never break when you want them to. It should be like one of the better ways to manage your deck. Just make glass cards, below them all, sky high. Could get the rock, but as long as we have the disco cards, we can always make a rock later. Now do we do Emperor instead? We got an Emperor, nice. Problem is I want to kind of use these now again, so we could just save a fool until we find, because that's gonna be like printing one of these anyway, so that's good. We want to have a shad and blueprints, right? Or shad over this guy, yeah, that's probably doable, especially with the photograph. That's a good call. Where do we have a shad though? Because shad is gonna be better for the actual hiker in a million years anyway, right? Fool good. Best guy. I'm wondering if I've just burned my brain too hard today. Because what I was doing beforehand was tech support for my grandma, who's 92. And she's actually pretty good with, like she's using a smartphone and all that stuff, but now we had to change all the internet stuff, all the TV stuff. I don't even have a TV myself, so I don't know any of that works. So we could also start using these now. Or we can just stick with them. And print more. What are we doing? You are pretty good for score, right? Literally just play a high card. Should have played the 10 also. Yeah. Seems to be the better way of thinking. Just make sure that we can also make more cash if we don't use the burnt boy. Do we need... We don't need planets now, but we would like some planets maybe. Let's just move on. Let's speed through this a bit. What are we close enough that... Yeah, because then we can make more. 42 bucks is pretty good. Which is that one. I'm gonna save one just in case. Yeah, I'm not sure about that one because we can end up with that just blocking the shop, right? But we could also end up not having that as a problem. And I don't know what's better. I mean, having the ships before is not gonna matter. So I'm not certain on the best play with the vouchers. Because we have definitely had massive problems with vouchers. We have to buy this to find the ticket if I remember right. But that means we are one round off the ticket. Troubadour Naninth. I mean, we can use the Troubadour instead of the Bean Magic. So actually possible to just get the hand size to have only Troubadour and live on steel cards. Unlikely, but we could do the abstract guy also. And we could dig for one, but if we have one in the pack anyway, better to just save the cash. Where do we have a sock? I'm sure I have a sock written down. Only late, right. But we can probably do... We did Stuntman also. Not that long ago. Maybe, I don't even remember. I barely know where I am at times. Yeah, Stuntman plus Bean is something I really want to try. But then that means we need to burn Perkio. So it has to be not a legendary run, which is fine. Does that mean we have one man that is hung like he was 10 men? It's gonna be a problematic way to live. Why we're not playing these in here? Then we just do this guy. And we can play a lazy pair of kings. Big cash in hand also. So now it's time to start firing off. So we need this. I guess we get rid of this guy because we need DNA for cards. We don't need this guy for score. We have that. Right. And we can now use more of these so that we can start printing auras and planets, right? Do we start printing planets already? That seems insane. Death card also, maybe. Oh, yeah. Well, we had 2 more runs, it's fine. We need to... Is this the one where we have the plant in, like, until 11? So we need to also prepare for that. Now we can hang some mans. And we can... Is this gonna be enough score? Not if we play 2, right? I don't think we can nanny with the hiker, but what we can do is we can stack like 10,000 ships on one card with a million blueprints and a shad and a hiker. So that's really the goal. We could use the observatory high card also. Because it doesn't really matter if we're going to just print a million planets, it can be literally any hand. It's not gonna be flush 5 because that's what we will be playing, so it can be literally whatever, but 4 of a kind is maybe better because there's more gold cards played. Does that make sense? Yeah, but I haven't done the math as always, so I don't know what we will actually land. We might have to play the kings here because we have, again, terrible score. Or you mean 5 of a kind with... Like we could use that for... Is that better though? Because that means we need to keep dudes that are different suits. I think it's better to just do 4 of a kind as the observatory card. And now we can play a flush 5 for score. 16, is that enough with just, or do we need to do this? Don't need that much score. But we do also need cash. I'm just thinking the 5 of a kind. I get the idea, playing 1 more card, but that means we need to have a king of a different suit also. Just play and see where we end up. It's a big cool hand, it should be nice for score. Not that these kings are worth much, but it's enough. Yeah, so getting rid of Baron and Mime is good. I'm fully on board with that. Then we need to find a Mars also soon. And we need to print more auras. We need all the things. Where are we? Next, Ante, is the... For Burnt Boy. Yeah, we don't have a retrigger, so that makes sense. That's pretty good. We could get a purple seal card also to gamble. Or we could just print planets. I'm just gonna get this. See if we can land a death, maybe. We have some auras, which is nice. Pair. We can play 4 because the hand level is trash. For your first Nanymph is just... You probably need... Well, you need Observatory or Baron Mime. Perkyo helps. Like, this seed is insane if you want to try it seeded. As long as you get some cryptids, you can make Steel Kings. Use the Baron and a Mime and a couple of blueprints, and you're good. I think that's easier than Observatory anyway, I'm not certain. Which is actually the better one. Hang some mans. And then we just do this, right, for big cash money. And that also means 1 more photo. Now we're printing cash. So out of all the seeds I've played, this is probably the one that is just the most powerful, or however you want to say it. It has such an insane start, and it just gets worse or better. Oh yeah, Serpent as well is a good call, because what you need is many Steel Kings in hand. Serpent just gives you that for free with the burglars. Very cool. It's also something I've never actually done, because I just do things on a stupid level where that doesn't matter. Yeah, so then you already know what you're doing. It's just more of that. Like you're already on track. So we could now also make them into suns. Since we have the Bloodstone later, I don't know if it's gonna matter, but we might as well, right? Justice is good, true. I don't know if I want to keep the sun, I will just make more of those. Showman is... not Showman, Perkyo is going to troll, 100%. More Fool is more good though. Oh yeah, that's true also. Many things to do. I think we just keep the sun. We may as well commit to the hearts. I don't remember how deep I need to roll here. Cola. But we can't really use the cola. Alright, we need justice also, that's true. Right. May have already forgotten. We have an easy justice in the next ante. Well, the ecto problem is after ante 8. Because then we need to decide, like, do we not use any ectoplasms until ante 16, or do we just use a couple because then we can make more cash? But then we have to keep them for the bean in 16. And that's gonna be tricky because we need to keep them this time. So that's the main concern I have. Do I care about a cola? So I don't know how it lines up with the bean for the negative tags. It's not bad, but what do we replace? Because Dusk is good, this is good, DNA is good. Yeah, so if we want to use an ecto before 8. I think it's tricky because in 8 I probably want to sell everything, so it's maybe better to not use an ectoplasm, but we could also... Using one ectoplasm is paying one hand size for 3 more hands. It's really the trade. Of course we're printing the sun. Use the auras also. Or do we still need to print more auras, so I don't know if we... 2 brainstorms, yeah. Wait, we should also hangman. This is also where we could stop hangmanning and we could use death instead. Or is DNA enough? Ghost deck is easier for sure, because here we had to use Seance to get the spectral cards. Next hand wins. But then we could play a high card and then just... It's always problems. Nice, we can use this. I think we want to get the auras done early also. Is a pair enough? It shouldn't be, right? Or do I have to start doing math? Maybe I should. Good. Big brain place. A magic man, not the one we need. And we dusk it. We can skip also. 600 bucks. 800 bucks. Not bad. But I was thinking cash, not score. Oh yeah, we're looking for the blueprints also. Just getting everything. We have a justice, which I guess we should use just to prepare. Might as well do this, and we can have a... We could waste all the cash. Why not Dusk? Because re-triggering, we can split the blueprints. Alright, we have the red seal. I always forget to count that trigger I see. So we have actually more triggers if we do both on the ticket. Okay, so I am maybe awake enough to learn that, but now we have... Yeah. But now it's gonna be different. So it has to be the DNA, right? For now. Or could we do this guy? And just make glass cards, it's also possible. Don't really want to use glass cards now. Yeah, so justice is enough for a score. I guess we just do that and we make more dudes. And then we might as well get the other one now also. And then we burn the showman. Because we need this, we need this, we need this. It could be DNA here also. And then in the next ante is the burglar, right? Seem to remember he is. We have a showman in 7 we can get back if we really need to. So 4 blueprints ante 6 is crazy. But it's what we're dealing with. You can sell some ectos, right? It's too many. And we might already start printing planets also. So we can do just again to have one for the future. So without photo can we just play 5? Use one already. So is it, because that was my main question, is it worth, because we get 3 hands really, which is what, 7.5 hand size for 1 now? It's probably worth. We haven't leveled up flush 5, so this should be fine, right? Yes, it's absolutely awful. Good. More sun. Oh yeah. I mean, we bought the blueprints last. So do we now? We can make another Glass King if this guy explodes. So we can just play that. But now we want to have, because the cards play twice, 3 times, and we have 4 on the ticket. So we have a 4, 3. No, the ticket plays 5 times now. Because the ticket plays itself also. So that's now 4 tickets, 4 replays. Maybe. Cash is looking good anyway. That's a good idea. Or good call. Just so Perkio has a chance to troll. We gotta let him have some fun. Death card. We could now get this also. Because that's another way too. We don't need to hangman. We can use death and we can have more cards. Because we can use the fool for that. If we want to. And we could use auras and hangmans just to get rid of them. Make some more cards. Yeah, that's... I already insta-beans to death. This is exactly what I had the fool for, and I still don't remember when we get there. Nice. It really is rocket science, this game. Death. Fool. Now we have him. That's temperance. Again, do we use, because I think it's better we just print like 7 auras early, because then we can get rid of that from the pile also. Because right now it's a very low chance that we print these, which is a problem. And we could also use one just to see where it is actually. So it's on a blueprint. Yes, one on dusk and this. actually playing it right. But it's now the next two antes are important because now it's the brainstorm and the burglar juggling that needs to be done. And then the negative being. We need more glass cards. Which is not that hard to do, at least we can just print more glass cards. Yeah, I'm hoping the hiker can make them big and strong and juicy. That also works. Play the glass card more. Wait, I haven't used one now. Well, it's gonna have to be the DNA for the next brainstorm, right? Now we have one slot also. But we have two other two brainstorms in 7. I know we have one in 7. Because there is also a showman in 7 and the burglar, so we have loads of things that we need to pick up. That needs to be done right. But we have 2 grand, so... But if we don't have Dusk, we need 5 glass cards. Or maybe not 5, but we need more. We can bring this just in case. So, we will need this guy to find both the brainstorms. There is the hiker already. But now it's gonna be on the showman. But do we have room for the seltzer? Because we need... Like, the problem is now making room for 2 brainstorms. Which is gonna require the showman. It's the wrong save. We also have a hiker if you wanna start already. Forgot to skip. Runner is pretty cool also. But I don't know how big the audience is for these kind of scale 1 Joker really far videos. I'm kind of struggling with everything lately. In terms of how well the videos are doing. Yeah, if we're going to replace, that's fine. So we can do this. Next is the showman. So the problem is, if we want both the brainstorms, we need the showman. We also have... There is a later showman, actually. We don't need showman now. So that's fine. How deep is the second dusk, though? There is also a later burglar. Or the second brainstorm. Quite deep, right. It's a million years. I just need to chain myself to the deck and slam out Balatro videos with my face. Because I'm still enjoying making them, I'm just struggling to keep up. Yeah, we can, but we also have... We can get the next showman. Because he is still before the second brainstorm I did check. And I'm saying it out loud so you can remember, because I won't. We have a second burglar also, so we don't need to get him now, but we have to buy the next showman and the next burglar. And then we have to roll quite deep to get both brainstorms. So the next showman is after the first brainstorm. And the burglar also, I think. So if we know that we are going for both brainstorms, We might as well just get the later dudes. I just need to double check the burglar. Because I don't trust my own brain cell. Yes, there is a later one after natural negative, right? Burger is good now, that's true. And then we burn the DNA. Is this already the second showman? Am I mad? Okay, we're actually close to the first brainstorm, so do we want to play... We can still dusk when... Is there one more? There is one more. Okay, so we can get the first brainstorm now. And if you're selling dusk anyway, might as well. Then we get this. And that's enough for now. Yes, there is still a showman not that far after the first brainstorm. So we will get the showman next round, and then we have to carry him and the burger. And then I don't know if we can... Do we have room for the second brainstorm? Because... Well, we have a burglar already, and we can sell this. So we have room for 2 more. Do we want to ecto 1 more? We already used 1. And 2 I don't know if it's worth if we're selling them. So I don't know if we have 2 beans, because we could always try that strat. I think it is terrible. It's just always the insane approach is better. We also have a brainstorm in 8. Like we could... Well, we're playing around now anyway. Let's just tweak the odds. Okay, now we can start using some auras, which is nice. We need to use the Burger Man. Is second ecto more good though? Because I'm thinking it's gonna be hand size wasted. I've not tried multiplayer, but it's like I play only seeded, so is the next one shiny? Are you sure? I mean, I'm gonna trust in the seed science. No, but the next one. Nice. Disco King. So, multiplayer. No, I tend to not do the math, so at the end, I run it like an experiment. I have a vague plan, chat has a better plan, and then we make something work, and it's gonna be just whatever it happens to be. Because I don't need triple justice. So would you say that it's worth going down? Because we're going to then use that hand size to pay for ectoplasms. But for multiplayer, it's like... There's so many people that are good at the game. And I'm here in seeded where I have like 15 blueprints. So if I show up to a multiplayer thing and I don't have 15 blueprints, I'm just lost. I mean, it's gonna be funny to try that anyway. Skip the animations, now we don't need to see this over and over. We should... blow up some of these, or do we just death them instead? Yeah, modded is also interesting. I don't fully know what to do with modded. Like, I've tried... We play the Pokemon stuff. I did not. I think we still have only the one. Yeah, but we have death cards. I just want to make sure I have some glass cards also. But now we can... So what do we want? Now we want death cards, and then we can start on the planets also. We only have 9 cards left. They are 6 kings. Okay. Welcome. More cool people. Why was that? Well, I didn't pay attention to the score, but whatever, that's good enough. So, then we have the next... Well, the next brainstorm is deep, but we need the showman to find that. And then I guess we need to... Are we really going to ecto now? It might go on the brainstorm. It's on the ticket. That's spicy. And by spicy I mean bad. We could have also had this re-triggered, but if we sell this and buy the showman, is it still gonna be on the ticket? Are we still going to crash if we use the stacked ones? Yes. I had to try. It's like the most reliable crash I know. Saturn, amazing. Stacking those cards makes it so much easier to keep track. But if you dare to use a stacked ectoplasm, game goes boom. But we could fix that by going back to when we bought the brainstorm probably, but... we do... This is gonna be on the ticket anyway. We could also have wheeled up the ticket. I have not seen another ticket. I also haven't looked that deep. But it's a very... There is one coming up actually, that's true. Cool. And we need to roll quite deep now anyway because it's gonna be expensive for the second brainstorm. So we can do... We sell you because we need the burger for more things. Then I sell that, but now it's gonna be on the showman. It's on a blueprint, cool. Grab a shad in case we don't find anything else. Get a madness just to ruin everything. I mean, we could... This is more cards. Guess that's more good or less good, depending on how you look at it. Rock. Rockman. I'll just throw away my cards now. Okay, so this is... We have a burger, we haven't replaced him, so that's fine. And the boot, so I know where I am. We have a ticket fairly soon. And we have one more round here, right? We do. Yes. Actually, just being careful so I don't have to go back and re-record everything offline because I beansed everything up the wall, as is tradition. Then we have a ticket. And just slam in a few more. So really what we want to do now is just more Disco King, right? Don't actually need anything here. Because I still need the glass cards. And the death card is the same as having a fool. So planet is what I'm forgetting. But we also need to have the ectos beforehand. Negative Eternal Rock Boy is quite cool, just forever printing rocks. Just the good stuff. We always want rocks. Okay, so we don't have a retrigger guy, we don't have DNA, so we just play. And the score is whatever it happens to be. Now we can do more of this guy. I don't actually want to play all of these though, because the score is gonna be too high. Right, it's gonna be too much. We just play the pairs. That's true, it's almost the same as having glass. But now I have beans the cash set up. Just save. Am I gonna remember though if we just save him for later and make more? That sounds like the Invisible Man to me. That's the way he works. Well, we can do this for the last cards. Well, it just seems like a waste to not make these Disco Kings, but can actually do just to make more cash. That's already enough. And then I forgot to make more dudes, right? But we can maybe do it here now. We just need to pull the one guy that matters. Invisible Man is just the biggest troll this game has ever seen. And it takes burning. Well, you said Grimbo, he's now immune to being... Well, not immune to the Invisible Man, but he's already negative. But he showed up on cue. Okay, so this is... Even if this is worse, it's still just funnier to play. We already have 6 retriggers. And we can actually get one more in 8, right? Now we have enough deaths that we can still just do this, so we can play more cards in the rounds. We need a plant solution also, but that's like, it's a later problem. Don't play a high card, it's gonna be a bad time. Not enough for, what do you mean? Now we have too many glass cards instead. What, to dig for even more blueprints? That's kind of wild. I think we have enough as it is. I think it's better we don't use all the ectoplasms now. But we save them for after Ante 8. So we have... We can make Disco Kings for the last 5. Let's make them now. I mean, it's a funny seed you found. Do we keep? We have more glass dudes if we need them. We don't want to have too many Disco Kings either, actually, because we need to not score for some of those hands. And then we just play this. Which kind of has to be enough on its own now. Barely. Okay, more hand size is more good. That is what we want. Right, so the problem now is that we need to do the bean instantly now. Shouldn't be that hard. But now we have the cool stuff coming soon. So to the moon is what we're looking for first. We have 2 glass cards, that's enough. Alright, because we can sell the ticket also. And the showman, I see. So that's why we have more room. Yeah, we do. The bean is not that deep. So what we do is we set up the negative bean. And then we can dig for 1 more brainstorm, right? I don't think we can do 2, that's gonna be too expensive. Well, there is a later bean also that we can roll for. I mean, I think you're right that we don't have enough of that blueprint because we have 2 cards and that's very deep. I don't know how deep it is, but it is very deep. So we don't need the negative bean, we could play for cash then, is what you're saying, because we replace this for the bean and this for a brainstorm. And then we don't need it to be negative. Right. Then we just need to see, do we get the first bean or the second bean, because there is a second bean. Okay, but then we just play the run, that's fine. That's nice and easy. Copy the right dude. Make a gold dude also. Then use the ticket. Oh, we have 9 fools, right. Or do we just wait for the Disco King? But again, we don't want to have... We can always make more Disco Kings later, right? They can be normal kings now. Whatever, that's fine. I also need to remember to get a planet, because I am gonna forget. And that's too much. Okay, where are we? We are Neptune and a Wrathful guy. We could get DNA for 1 round also, but we can't really. We need a ticket and stuff. Just all hail the obelisk all the time. It's a cool Joker at least. One more round. Do the burger thing. Get the cool rock involved. Kind of unnecessary to do those guys, but... Also, how many obelisks is that before Ante 12? I mean, it's nice that there are... So what's the number of seeds available again? It's something like 2 quintillion. It's like an insanely big number of seeds. So somewhere in there you found the one that has 400 obelisks. That sounds like a big brain thing. We are doing the... whatever it's called. Voucher tag in 14, I think. So it's possible that we can line that up for 16. I think 16 was a problem for beans, 16 and 24. Because what I remember from the bean episode is that it was just really, really hard to bean it in those antes, which is why I went for like 32 instead. I need to print so many ectos. It's gonna be enough now anyway, right? We might as well make some more Disco Kings. Yeah, so we're fine with the Disco Men. Now it's the boss. Or maybe you've rolled it so no one else has to. There was a Mars, which I skipped. That's the bean. It's like reflex buying planets. Cash is always good. Could get a hiker in. Let's get a couple of ships going first. Oh yeah. But you always want to keep the negative guard. There's another Mars. Right. So we have quite a nice stack going on. And then we might as well just save the cash if we don't... I mean, we have 7 grand actually. But now we don't have anything we can replace. I think it was maybe possible to do. Well, let's just go like this. And we have the Burger Man. Do a real cool save. Do we have enough cards? We should have. Okay, and then burn. Someone is going to be really, really angry about this. Okay, good. So high card is terrible score. And then we just she's the bean a lot. Is that we skip on this? Not the disco guy. Game is saying you need to play as a caveman. Well, the obelisk actually doesn't scale with rocks in this, which is a shame. It should. Yeah, we could have, because I was gonna say that I have done this somehow where I got the first debuff to land on the bean. But I don't remember what I did. We needed Burglar to have more hands. To make more bean magic. So the Burglar is on purpose. I had a cola, right, that's correct. So we went in with the cola and we sold. That would have actually been good because maybe we do that instead because we need many tags for Ante 14. Can we get them without that cola? Maybe we can. But that's one more slot taken up. We could have again done the negative bean, had a cola, but I don't know. Maybe it's better to just get the bean shenanigans done. I also don't know what hand size we went in with, but... we're leaving with a decent hand size. Yeah, we could do Bean and Troubadour. We could do Bean and Stuntman, I think is the best combo. But we could definitely burn Perkio. It's just gonna be... like, we need him for this, for the rest of the run, sadly. Is it +9? Or did I press new run? Alright, then we missed the save, of course. Perfect. Well, it's the beans. But is Stuntman +9? Because he's -2. So it's the difference between the bean and the Stuntman. Is that what you get every round? That's pretty crazy. I thought it was gonna be 5 on one and 2 on the other. Okay, at least I can speed bean now until I beans the bean. So how do we solve all the double tags that we need? Because it's gonna be a lot. Well, it makes sense that it's +2 because you remove the debuff from the Stuntman, which gives you 2. At the same time, you debuff the bean, which is 5. But if it also mats in between them, it's gonna be another 2 for the Stuntman. I don't get how that works either. Okay, not new run. And now we just... left card becomes the right card. Disco the deck. So if we have a glass card, we could just make... like, I'm thinking about the plant now. We could just make a few glass aces and that should be fine if we have a retrigger for them. Welcome back. We have done some bean madness. Extra mad beaning this time. Because we went for actually using ectoplasms before this round. That's another band number. Showman is just a rock kind of guy. Obelisk all the time. Okay, now the next problem is... now we're in on the 9, we have nothing. We need colas, we need... well, you're still getting... more hand size is more good. Cola is nice. We actually have an idol we could use for score here. But it's gonna be a problem, right? I don't know if we need... like, do we need Face Man now? Whatever he's called. The good dude what I skipped. Photo Shad, do we need him? Because this is gonna be... we can't go in with this, right? It's gonna just score too high. Because we have actually managed the deck reasonably well. I know we have a brainstorm here. I just don't know what we use for score. Maybe it is just a photo. Or do we just have... like, the disco cards isn't enough as it is, actually. We don't need anything for score yet. But we need to... there's a shad and a ticket that we could do. I should also start printing planets. Because that will also fix the anti-11. Glass, yeah. We can actually do disco glass now. Even cooler. You had a brainwave. We have glass, we have disco. Like, we don't need score for another couple of antes, I think. That's maybe smart. But we could also... I mean, we could play... we can hike her up 5 cards just so we have spares also. But the first one is always going to be the most cracked up if we run whatever his face is called, Shad. 250k, yeah, so we're good for a while. We're just carried by the disco. Because my brain cell and my eyeball is trained on seeing blueprints and literally nothing else. It's like a horse with blinders. There's 150 jokers, but we don't see the legendaries. I see like 2, and that's it. Then my brain checks out. So we should get the ticket before we go in at least. Wherever it is, I don't know how deep. What's that? As an hallucination, dude? Is that a face? Okay, we're close. Nice. I also need to look up where the next showman is. Or do we get... we had reserved parking, actually. Surely that's better now. We don't have the retriggers. But we had a mime and stuff, we can do that. That's better, has to be. This more rerolling is maybe not more good, but it's a thing that we can do better. Don't even, we might as well have a hiker for now if we don't have anything else, but now we know we have a bunch of stuff we can bring. Didn't remember Clown Man now. Brainstorm good. Mime good. Bean. Oh yeah, still +5 because it was debuffed when we left. Or you're just being trained on the obelisk. But it's like you're being trained on that against your own will by the sounds of things. Also, where do we have another burger man? We have one in 9 also, cool. Also, you just need to not miss the parking. Because it was around here somewhere. Yep, some good tips. Thanks for the help and good night. I was gonna say good luck with sleep, but it's the colas is my main concern because I need to find my notes on that. We need so many of them. We also need the blueprint trick. Sell this. We don't actually need the hiker now either, but it's good to have him. More hiker is more good. So this and the mime has to be better than the ticket when we don't have retriggers for stuff. That's my thinking. And we have a stupid hand size. It's going reasonably well, I would say. Welcome. We have like 60 something hand size. I'm not gonna say the actual number because it's a bad one. But now we need to rebuild after the madness of 28. You can get burglar next time, maybe. We need the brainstorm on him. We need blueprints and more brainstorms and a showman. But we don't really have any into like 11. Showman in 10, right? I'm gonna try not buying this also. Just to see if we can skip the problematic vouchers. We don't have anything that works when we go in. We don't have a burglar. We don't even have enough cards. Okay, so they re-trigger once anyway from this. So do we want the brainstorm on the parking? Because more chance to do. We need a burglar for this also really, but we're gonna get. Yeah, this is the most insane seed I've ever seen. It's this. It's like the most used for me also, I think. So it's a really good one if you want to try like the bean setup or anything like that. You can get 4 blueprints in until 6. And there's a burglar nicely available in 7 and a bean in 8. Actually working quite well, given that we don't have a dice. And now we need to score, which is the disco cards. So now we just do this and we can start shipping up something. Yep, the shop reroll is the best one. Okay, so now I'm gonna have to start keeping track of this because we can retrigger this. I don't know if we should just retrigger the hiker. No, it's better to do that, right? And we just. So that card is now 35 extra ships. You should just start an obelisk collection. I'm sure there's someone wants to see that video also. And we could have moved the mime something else for the brainstorm. The score is fine. We just have this small problem that we have a plant coming up soon. But we can literally just make a glass ace and live, I think. And observatory. We need more cards now also. Yeah, I've never heard of so many obelisks before. Thank you. Luck is always good. More luck is more good. Especially the first stream on something new. Where it's just, I'm gonna figure out what to do tomorrow, probably, after this run. So now we could get a dice. This is not bad. But we can guarantee the cash. Which I think is better, because this is gonna disappear anyway. I also don't know what to do with ectoplasms now. For the bean in 16. We could not use any ectoplasms. And do a smaller bean. Or we could use loads of them and have room for more things. We don't really have... We really only want the ectoplasm to go on the brainstorm now. We could drop the hiker, but we do kinda need him also. I have already sold the cola, right? We have another cola coming up also. And we have a showman, right? So this is already tricky with space. Where is the blueprint gonna be? Not the blueprint, the ectoplasm. It's never gonna be on brainstorm, right? It's on the hiker. And it's not bad, but we are going to need to throw the hiker for reasons later. Do we just skip the dice and have this instead? Maybe we do. Because now we can make more cash from that. And if we're lucky with wheels, we can cover all the dudes in wheels and we can play... We can get the ectoplasm on this guy eventually. It's gonna be hard to do. And I want more of them, but I don't want too many. Okay, so now... On this guy... Play a couple of more hands. It's not a lot of cash per hand, but it's... More hands is more cash. And we are going to need a stupid amount of cash. I wish you could sort them also by like ship amount. This is the big one. But now we have space problems already. Because we want the colas, we need the colas. Do we have another dude? We have a showman after, which is not bad, but we don't have room for him either. So what can I easily replace for a cola? Like, this is the trickiest part, is juggling all the jokers. You get a new reserved parking in the next ante, but it's kind of not that far in. You can go one round without, it's not that bad. Oh, we can get the ticket instead, right? Not the best, but it's gonna have to do. But we can't play too many cards now. You can play like... Is 3 of a kind worse? Yes, it is. Maybe get away with that at least. Maybe even 4. Even 5? Oh, right, because they're not disco cards, they're actually worth nothing, right? Cool. We need more cards. Somehow. I also... It might be that our one cool card is upside down. That'd be pretty bad. It's not the end of the world if we don't stack it fully every round. But I would like to. Because we don't know what these cards... I mean, they are kings, at least for cash. Do we have the cool... Should be like 70 ships now. 65, that's probably it. So it would have been good to leave this not disco fight, but I want to just make it a rock instead. Plan. The score is fine. So DNA is good, because we need to score. But we need more dudes also. When is the next hiker? Because if we can throw away the hiker and get a new one, we can make the ectoplasm go somewhere else, and that would be fantastic. I just have not... Yeah, we have a new hiker here also. Okay, so we can do... We can make this work. This seed has everything you're looking for and probably more. So if we do that... It's on the brainstorm. Perfect. It's not supposed to be that simple. It's supposed to go horribly wrong at every possible turn. And we have the cash so we can dig. I also don't know how many double tags I need. We just need a lot. Yep, that's why we need the colas. We can set up a double tag in, or a voucher tag in 14, and we can get overstock and, more importantly, actually retcon, so we can do beans in 16. Parking is fine here. And we can get the next... Because we have the mime, parking is better. We can't really use a stupid amount of ectoplasms now. We could also just buy more cards, and we could make them into more kings with death. The bean thing works like when Crimson Bean debuffs Crimson Boss, Crimson Heart. I don't even know what the boss is called. When that debuffs the bean or any hand size joker, you quit the main menu and go back in, then you play a hand. That's it. So it's very straightforward. It's just the setup is you want to have only 2 jokers and as many hands as possible to do it more times. That's the tricky part. Okay, we have the hiker back also, which is cool. And I think we need to grab... Or have I rolled past the showman? Maybe I have not. So the maximum bean shenanigans I did, we had 300 something hand size, I think. But that was really going all in on only that. Showman we have 10. Because if we don't have him, we can't get more blueprints. But we can get multiple beans, right? I think we can get away with ectoplasms here. Have we played one round? We have not. Good. So I don't want to just... We saw an obelisk. For like a split second. Because I don't want to just spend time on the side. Shit, like, we're never going to print a single planet as long as we have. Also doesn't really matter until we have more brainstorms and stuff. So now we want to retrigger this, and we just 1 card for cash. Paying the rock is actually more good here also. So what's that, like 150, 200 bucks per hand? Not amazing, but it can be better. Then we look for... I really need to make it a rock already, just so we can have the 1 disco rock. It should be like 195 is probably the biggest one. Yes, nice. Because it's still gonna be a disco card, so it's still gonna be fun. I don't know if there is a negative dice. It also depends on... Like, we have negative tags. We might land a negative dice as a bonus. That would be cool. The main problem is... Since we're doing the bean, we can't have too many random negatives, because it's gonna we have to sell them anyway. But we can have them for a while before we burn them all. So we need a stone card, whatever it's called, the tower. Also dusk. Okay, showman is literally next in the shop. There is also another cola that we would like to grab. Then again, I don't know what I have to juggle out and in for that. But we're going to need like a couple of $100 grand probably in total. So it's just... It's one of those. So how... So we need the showman, and we can get him next round, that's fine, because we want him for moving into the next round. But then there's also a cola that I definitely need. It's gonna have to be the DNA that I've forgotten that I have. That we have to burn. That's probably fine. No, Perkio first. Could actually fool up some planets. That would work. But then I have to use them. Right, never mind. Okay, so we have DNA. And we want to make more of the not big cards, I think. Then we'd retrigger this. We also need a strength card because we have the plant in the next ante, which is gonna be spicy. So we need to either have observatory going, which we definitely don't, or we need glass aces. Where's the cool card? 125. And the other ones is just gonna be whatever random extras. So then what do we burn for the cola? It could be just the parking or the mime, depending on what's easier to replace in the next ante. Because there's nothing here. There's more dice here though, and a mime. Well, you don't have that big heavy rock holding you back anymore. It's nice. Like a massive weight removed from the gameplay. Okay, we have a rock card in the next ante, that's good. But what is easier to replace? Like we need a... Reserve parking is easy, right? Good. I think I can do you one worse here also. We have an obelisk. Actually a surprisingly fun Joker to play around, but Not if you see 450,000 obelisks in a row. Okay, so grab the cola. Cola, very important. That was another obelisk in the shop. That's my cola. It's gonna have to be this. Unless we wanna invest in the mime. I think we can do this maybe. And we have our dice instead. So the wheel could be MVP here also if we just cover everything in wheel effects before we find the blueprint. We can then guarantee that we get the ectoplasm to go where we want. Probably the best I can do. I'm gonna have to double check the colas for next time. Because there is one more here, but again without the voucher is gonna be very expensive. Guess a stupid amount of expensive. Berkey is really just slacking with the printing of things. I should just get rid of these also. But let's do the next round when we have... Or do we just wheel it up? Because this is actually useful. Nice. Play the rock, make some cash. Because it's now guaranteed. Starting to sound like a bit too many obelisks. Like how many could really exist in the game? Could also just make more disco rocks, right? But I don't want to have more disco rocks. I want to have just the one so we can keep track. There's a rock card that's very, very cool. Is this where we have... a blueprint also? Right, but we need also a strength card. It's very important. Which we could hopefully... Or we just live on the rocks, that's also possible. Right. Dusk could also work, as we already rolled past it now, but... Because, I mean, we only have 2 planets, like it's gonna be terrible. And we have death. It's gonna have to be the disco rocks. And then we can unrock the other ones later, maybe. It's pretty cool. Not gonna help here, but... It's a nice way to re-trigger the rocks. But we're going to have to run this on the rock anyway, so I think we're good. Don't need the ticket yet. We don't have enough anything. Okay, so... This is the big cool card. It's now a disco rock. Then we play for cash. Also remembering that I have keybinds to speed things up. And then we need to play for score. We need to have this first because it's the cool chosen card. There's a long way to go with the ships though. But that was small blind, right? So we can literally just make more disco rocks for the boss. And we're fine. The plant can just get lost. No, so right now I'm doing them on... Like I make the decision on the same day, but it's basically always 8 PM my time, which is Central Europe. But I will like announce it 5-6 hours before with a post, and then there's also a link so you can see the stream in whatever time zone you are in. So that's the kind of the plan. So now, do we want to... Well, we have a decent shot at landing this. Close, but no. My grandma was German, technically. No, I'm in Sweden. It's the same time zone as Germany. Just slightly more frozen. So is there anything important here after the... Do we have colas also? Because they are mega important. I'm also looking at the shop on a seed analyzer at the same time. And it's... I could just spend time and write everything out so I don't have to do this while streaming, but didn't have time. It's 1 in 3, yes, but we don't need to... Well, I mean, not like forehand size is gonna matter, but I'm trying to decide, because we can do the bean again in 16 probably if we get enough double tags for retcon. And we could either use many ectoplasms and have more blueprints to make more cash, have more hands, that kind of stuff. Or we could just not use them and then not sell them also. Or we could use them and try to do many beans instead, but then the chance is much lower that we get a big cool hand size. Because doing that with only 2 jokers is the most consistent. So I don't think we have anything else here that I really need. Unless I'm just blind. We could... Like a mime back in here would be cool now. With the reserved parking. Or just anything else that makes cash. I think there should be another dice, maybe. Unless I've already gone past it. I have. Okay, so we should be able to burn this, get this. We try the ecto. It's on the shad, it's a problem. We can't keep him. No, it's gonna watch it go on the reserved parking now. Nice, it's nice to hear people enjoying whatever madness I make. The streams are a lot slower. But hopefully still reasonable. It's harder to be entertaining live also. I'm gonna learn it at some point. So how do we have another reserve parking also? Because we do, right? Burn everything. That's always the solution. Burn every single dude we have. Then we can do this. And we don't need to do that now because we have room. But if we buy more things is gonna go on those dudes instead. New shad. New dice. That's nice, that's the plan. I'm a kinda... I don't know if I'm just a laid-back guy or if I'm just tired, so there's no energy, but... It's nice to keep things... When did I buy an egg? I thought I bought a dice, and I just look up, I have an egg. Why? Okay, burn. Buy. Use. Buy the right jokers. We need shad. I did buy an egg instead of a dice. Okay, cool. I guess I vibe with the egg. It's the joker that I'm most closely related to on a like a personal level. And this. Okay, so now we still have... We still have a hiker, we still have a burglar, we still have cash stuff, we have this. And we have... Like, this is the main problem with these runs. We need to juggle all these things. We need like 50 more blueprints. I also want to get observatory going. It's not going that well. We need to use up the death cards to make... Finally, we got one. But we need to use up the death cards on Disco Rocks, but I'm going to do that for the next round. And now do we want to... For cash, we want to retrigger this. Retriggering the dice doesn't matter, so it has to be this because we don't have a mime. So it's fantastic now to have the Disco Rock. We know that's the cool card. But we need more Disco Rocks to survive the plant. So might as well make a few of them now. So that we also use up these death cards that we don't need so many of anymore. We need more cards though, also. Do we save one? Or do we just... Because if we go in on observatory, then we're also just fine for score. Okay, so now we can just play... Because they are all the same ships. So 5 Disco Rocks. I don't know if I'm... Tomorrow or Thursday is the plan. But, like, I don't know until the right day anyway, but... If you have important stuff to do, that's better to prioritize for sure. Like, the streams are gonna be around, there's gonna be more videos. Okay, are we looking for... Because there's no more colas here, there's no more... Like, we don't have that many antes before the voucher tag, and we don't have anywhere near enough double tags. Finals can wait, yeah sure, we need to just hike to the moon. Well, good luck with whatever tests you have. Do I need planets? We don't, right? Okay, so plant. We can't make... Well, we can make a tiny amount of cash, I suppose. But they are debuffed, so we're gonna get nothing here, right? Yeah. Good. Then we just play the correct rock first. 305. And we just slap the plant with rocks. Well, it's just gonna be more of like looking for colas and stuff. It's a lot of shopping to get this going. And a lot of cash. We have the showman, we have another cola. We also we need to start selling blueprints as colas as well to make this work. I also really wish we could get overstock and not these kind of terrible vouchers. So I haven't even bought that many. I need to remember wheels also, actually important. Block the ectoplasm shenanigans. Could also just have those so that we can print more planets, because then we can be carried by observatory eventually and we don't have to care. So, what do we sell for a cola? Probably the dice, right? And then we have to burn the cola soon anyway. Mime is actually good for cash also, because it works well with reserved parking. But we need to fit in more blueprints also. And I need to figure out where all the colas are hiding. Not so much in this antibody looks of things. Okay, so there's really only a blueprint we're looking for here. It's nice. So do we can turn these back so we don't have to, like, I want to have just the one rock to make it simple. Okay, now we have somewhat of a build again with these dudes. So how does the mime even work on these hands, or only the last one? No, it works on this also, right? So the cards already triggered twice, 3 times with this. So all of them on parking is the move. It's just, imagine if we did not have animation skip, just how slow this is. This is at 4 times speed also. "16-hour stream," like, and we need 5 of those still to make it all the way. Skip all the things. Should actually play the... Just do this while I remember. And we should play the rocks, because that's more kings in hand for more cash. And this is still the cool one, right? Kind of optimizing that. Not worth doing by a million miles, but... Get the disco cards involved. Play the hand. And we could play it slow and move the mime after also to get more cash, but not enough already. We could sell shad, but now we have a... We have glass cards also. It's like, are we really going to have a score problem already? We can also get the 4 of a kinds involved with 1 rock. Good night. And good luck. But the shad is actually... That's even worse. The shad is actually useful here, because we're trying to stack ships on 1 card, and this is more for the 1 card. But these don't re-trigger, right? So do we have to go back and get glass cards? So like how do we... Or steel cards for the mime? Because this is gonna be just the same. No, glass cards are enough, right? But then we need glass cards. And we need them now. And we need a blueprint also. Negative bull actually gonna help with the cash we have. 27,000 ships. Not the worst. Okay, so we bring one of these. So 385 is our biggest, meaning we can make these glass cards instead. And we can bring another glass card also. Just need to make sure it's the right card. We don't just blow up what we actually need to keep. Right. So we could now sacrifice some cash making ability. As in the mime. Because we just need the blueprints for everything, so... And we want that. Even though the hiker is not doing as much now as he can do later, but... We still need him. Because every ship we can stack is gonna count. Like, we need the Ectos, but we need to keep this like vaguely even also. Or Perkio is never gonna print the right things. So, now it's just all the retriggers on this because we don't have the mime. So the income is actually pretty bad, but... So 385 is the big one. And if we play 4 of a kind, we have a tiny amount of help from our 6 planets. Wow. But now, if we're looking to just maximize the hiker, like I'm thinking we probably have to retrigger this to get enough score, but we need to actually do something like this to get more ships on the rock. Because right now it's playing twice on its own, 8 times, and the hiker is happening twice. So we could get the hiker 3 times, and the card plays 6 times. But I don't think we have the score doing this, so I'm just gonna save. So now we're getting some decent ships in there. But the score is gonna be tragically bad. Okay, we have enough planets. Nice. That's... I mean, we can scale this again with more blueprints. It's just all we need to scale up everything. Colas is gonna be the main problem. Because I had way more Colas last time because I did a thing in Anti-8 that I didn't do this time. And I kinda don't want to go back for that. Okay, so... Next until we have Cola, we have Brainstorm and some stuff. We're gonna have to start selling them as... Right. Make the Brainstorms pretend that they're Colas. It's always a fun thing to do. Okay, so we could do rock, rock, which is the good one. 475. Then we could take double checking all the rocks. And we could make them back into kings. We could also bring... We don't have the tickets, so we don't need him. We could bring another glass thing in also. If we find one. Just to make sure we have more cards that can live. We could also get a sock for score. I know I just skipped it, but... Okay, so now we actually have a good chance here with this. I'm gonna use it because it's guaranteed to go wrong. No, it's actually good, right? Parking is better if we have a massive hand size. Ticket is better if we have like a sock and many blueprints, so we can split between retriggering the ticket and the retriggering guy, which would be the sock. So for whatever we have now, this is better. The problem with this is that it really needs a dice and a mime also. So like we don't have anything incredible going on now. We could get ticket and sock. I think maybe we will have to also, because Disco Shad. Wow. But now we have room for something else also, so now I could have grabbed... But the sock was beforehand. Because we need to scale up the cash also. I just don't think we have anything useful here. Fibonacci, where are you in the shop? But if we could find a mime or a dice, that would be pretty big. Else more shad is better than nothing. Also, I never know how much cash I want to spend. Another hiker, a seance. Look, I need to know where I am in the shop also so we can find these things. The hiker should be fairly easy to spot, hopefully. Okay, so we have... There is a sock, but then we don't have... We don't have a ticket, so the sock only matters for score. So double shad is probably enough with... Because we can use the disco effects, we have more. Only one hand type. It's tricky, we don't have a reroll. Because a high card... Could we win with the high card with only the rocks, actually? Maybe we can. Let's try it. But then we don't have the help from this. So we might have to choose cash or score. And score, I mean, if we're dead, it's just over, so... Then we have... Is this the biggest one again? Yes. So we can play a high card with the glass card and just 4 rocks. And then we need to do... Yeah, but we don't have a retrigger. We have just... The disco rocks are cool. We only have a retrigger for the first one. We could go hard on retriggers and less on the hiker. But I think maybe I want to do... I already forgot what I did last time. Now we have double shad also. So the card plays twice. 10 times and the hiker only twice. So if we want to get more ships, it's this. But this is not going to be enough for score. It's still enough. Okay, I should have just trusted in the disco rocks. Chat is right as always. And we have... We could use this just to farm more colas. Or we could save it and try to use it for the bean. Either way is gonna be tricky, because I have already skipped so many vouchers. Don't need a bean yet. We just need 1,000,000 colas. So we need to start selling blueprints as colas. The problem is now that we currently don't have room. It's nice that we know there's a sock around in case we need more retriggers. Hopefully the disco rocks can just carry. Can also keep boosting 4 of a kind. Dusk is not bad. But now I need to actually keep the cola so that I can juggle it when we find a brainstorm or whatever. Blueprint, blue storm, brain print. So we have the brainstorm. But what do we have that we can replace after? Do we have a mime? A blueprint? But the ones we have are negative, so we don't want to burn those. There's a dice coming up. Reserved parking should not be that hard to find. And we can probably get away with skipping 1 round of making cash, that's fine. So then we can do that. For the next one. Why do I have a fool? So many things I'm not even aware of why I have them. Dice could be good. Some steel cards could also be good. Because if we're running reserved parking, we don't actually need gold cards. This guy is fun, but it's a hassle, sadly. Just want to fire off the wheels, but I shouldn't. So this is now the way to get enough double tags. Just burn the blueprints. And I think I need to go for every cola and blueprint I can find now. We have good enough cash. But we just need so many to get the right vouchers. But is it worth digging 600 cards deep? Like, that always seems insane. We've done like 160 so far. Maybe it's not the worst. Or did we skip that guy? 14 is the voucher tag, right? So we have this coming up soon. That's the thing I don't know, actually. That was the main question I had going into this. Because for the later beans, we will have to keep these guys now because we need them to stack the hiker. But for the first one, I like to sell everything except Perky and the bean, because then we can guarantee that we get a lot. But that means that every blueprint we use before that is... I mean, it's not wasted because it gives us more hands from the burglar, so we can get more permanent hand size. But they are kind of wasted. So I think we used 2 or 3 now, so we went really hard on just the big bean. Normally I would use maybe 1. And I still don't know what's better. Because now the Ecto is more expensive. It's already 6. Maybe I don't want to blow all my cash here either. Especially when we don't have any income. Or we can do this. Get some tiny amount of cash. Because because the burglar is useless if we don't have the cash, right? It doesn't actually matter. Cool rock. So what's even the optimal setup to play this? Card plays twice, 8 times, and only 3 on the right. So there's more on the hiker. So now the hiker runs 5 times and the card 4. The closest we can get, maybe. So less card played, but more hiker. And then we just need score. Which is just disco things. Do we have a disco glass card? We do. Okay, that will save us if we need it. And the hiker is just gonna slam his ships on everything, but we really only need it on 1 card. Okay, it's 4 of a kind is now good enough. Nice. So we are fine on score. But is it just better to sell the burglar? Because then I could at least make some cash. I think it is. So we really need the cash, or we're gonna struggle. So I'm gonna keep digging for these colas with only 2 cards in the shop. And we need to keep this so we can sell for the next, right? So then we can get parking back in here, right? There was another one. Unless I'm just forgetting everything, but that's at least an easy enough card to find. Ticket is better than nothing. But we have a parking, right? Or we could Ecto again, but I want to have a blueprint I can sell. And we need the showman, or we can't find the things. We need the hiker, we need the shad. It's gonna have to be you. And then we go in and we make some cash also. But we have less hands now. But now at least we're making cash. Tiny, tiny amount of cash. We also just do this once. Just to make sure we get the ships going also. That's the right one. And then we need to do Four of a Kind is the good one. Four Disco Geist and a rock. The perfect hand. Let's just try for this blueprint. Maybe the voucher tag. I'm not playing for that much longer. But we need to at least try these things. I can go back and fix, like, if there's shop grinding to be done. I would like to get a wheel on this, but it's gonna most likely go on the blueprint. We could also gamble on, like, there's always the judgments also. For more blueprints, it's just super unlikely. And we can make the cash back, it's just gonna take a while. It's a green joker, where are we? A million miles away from anything of value, probably. Take it and a green man. Just finding these things in the shop is hard. Just where are we? The millions of cards deep. We're not that deep actually. Like I tend to search for 600 cards deep, but then I also usually have some time beforehand to search for, or like take notes on what I'm looking for. Okay, it's actually not that far off. I think we can make it in the next one. That's good. So then we don't need to waste so much cash. So the question is it worth going down and out there just to dig for more colas? I think we just have to try the actual tag and see. We don't have a burglar, so we just go in. And then we do all on the hiker, right? Or is it now this? So we have observatory going good enough for now. I don't know if it's gonna scale fast enough with, since we don't have that many blueprints to print more planets. But it's good enough for now. It's nice. We could bring death cards and turn the rocks back into something else to make it easier to manage, but don't know if we have to. But there should be one more blueprint here soon now. Natural disco guy, baseball guy. Blueprint, right. The sacrifices you have to make, just digging super deep for a blueprint only to sell it as a cola. Madness. Actual madness. But now we can move on. Good, we don't have spades at least, that's good. But now not having a burglar is a problem instead. Play these actually. They don't matter anyway. And we play you. The shad here and the hiker dude here. Make a big cool card. Then we just super shad it again with disco dudes. So the vouchers we're finding are bad. I'm basically finding all the ones I don't want to buy, and because I haven't bought them at all, it's now going to be way harder to land retcon. We also don't have anywhere near enough tags. But we have a boss, that's not a problem at least. And we have in 14 at least one blueprint. And one cola. Does not sound like enough. but it's what we have to work with. We could also pick up a burglar again, because we need to make cash. Maybe that's the way to do it. We burglar one round, then we get the cola. Or do we need to go mega deep? Because we can't afford to go that far either. If there's nothing else, then that sounds good. Let's just do that. So we get a burglar now. There should be another cola, so we can sell that and just get it back. And then we can sacrifice another blueprint. And hopefully that's enough. Still not a good cash setup though. I also need to save 2 hands so we can do this also. Can't greed the cash on the last hand. Should have known that. But that's an easy solution. We also have glass cards if we need them. But it's like... we need the glass card, right? Or we need a rock still. But we have like... a big cool shad setup, so we should run that glass card enough times. Yeah. But we need... okay, so score also a problem, right? Good to know. You can also save one more rock for that, right? We have more than one rock. Yeah, not that many. Okay, so this is gonna have to be the best I can do for double tax. I'm assuming it's not enough, unfortunately. We can also just get a burglar back in, which is cool. We need the cash. And I did check that we basically have nothing else. Nothing we can afford anyway. Right. We do the skip. And we have to also do... we have to slow down the game after as well. That's the cool one. Then we need to save one more rock. So that's it. And we could also make all Steel Kings. It's gonna be maybe a problem with score now. It's gonna be too much. But because we don't actually need the gold cards with this, that is a fine thing we can do. 1,000 ships on the card. It's gonna go scale up way faster later. But this is what we can manage for now. Alright, then we need to... I was thinking we can only see the hiker do the thing on the card, but no, we have to watch everything else. Okay, so 4 of a kind with a rock. Is it enough without a glass card? Yes, barely. Right. Okay, so the way to do this is we go to settings, we slow this way down. And it's retcon is what we really need. So that's the important one. But we can get away with buying one, and we can get the upgrade for that one. But only that one. So, there's still a chance that I have not bought enough vouchers, and that we don't get upgraded retcon, but if we get it, we're good. So you're so slow as well, waiting for seeing if we have the thing. I don't think we have it. We have overstock though. Okay, so there is one more chance. I'm gonna end, like I should end now actually, but I'm gonna just look if we get it in the next hunting. Just buy everything. But it's like the chances are not great. Or we might also not have enough score to even see it, right? But if we just go in here, only to check this thing. Alright, everything is drawn face down. It's 3 of a kind because we had rocks. Because this should be a rock. But I need all disco cards. Yeah, we might not even be able to beat this. No, not even close either. Well. Can we do something quick with like a sock, maybe? Yes, we can. Because this is just so I know for next time. That we need more tags or more vouchers bought. At least we have one more card in the shop, that's good. But if we don't have retcon in time for 16, we're missing an entire bean, and that's bad. So, just to see, now we go with you. Because now we can play all the cards many times. They need to be disco cards to be enough score. Did I really need to use the burglar also? Maybe I did. Because it's just blind luck if I land the glass card and disco cards. Okay, this is gonna be tricky, apparently. Now the game is dead. Good. that gonna be enough to help? Unlikely. But we really just need to make it to 16 and see what the voucher is. And that's gonna require something more for score. Like a photo or a blueprint, or a sock is good. But we need something else also. Get one more shad. Sure. So burn you. Hard sharp also would have been good maybe. Or an obelisk. But we're just doing this should be enough. And print me some more planets. Can I just re-roll the boss actually? That'll make it way easier. So, chances that we get retcon basically 0. We don't have it. We have a bloodstone though. But I'm gonna end here today, and I will have to go back and fix the voucher tag. Hopefully it shouldn't take that long. So thank you for watching. We will continue this later in the week.